I am the web girl and the social media girl. I'm about to be the crowdsourcing girl at Ellis Don. Ellis Don is one of Canada's largest, if not largest, ICI GCs. We're also a construction services firm specializing in cradle-to-grave services, everything from equity financing to facilities management. And I run our social media presence. One of the cool things about social media and why I wanted to do this was about connecting with everybody else. I really enjoy that, and I really enjoy the ability to kind of tell our story, and not just to the usual suspects, but to anybody who wants to know, especially like our subcontractors and guys out on site and people in our community. I think that's a good, that kind of is what drives me a lot. Your social media and what you experience is really based off the network that you build around you or your brand. So if your brand is mainly construction as ours is, or about construction related services, that's what people are going to be talking about. That's going to be what you're going to be discussing. Instead of starting from a place of, I'm going to broadcast this to the world, instead take a step back. What is it that you want to learn? And then, read from those people, learn about those people, and then kind of emulate the people that you, or the brands that you aspire to be. But instead of trying to rebuild it from fresh, do your own research, figure out what you're interested in, and then work that way. The reality of construction is that it's guys on job sites and gals on job sites doing a job. They're not desktop-based workers for the most part. And many of the tools, up until the past probably 18 months, many of the tools were geared to a desktop computing environment. Now that we've got tools much more enabled to the mobile environment, Twitter, Instagram, those things, you can now get people, not saying those are the tools you'd actually want to use, but now you can get people engaged wherever they are at. They're much more mobile-friendly tools, and with that comes a lot higher involvement in the construction industry. The value of the follower, it kind of depends on the follower. If your follower is a potential client, it can be astronomical. If it's a partner or a sub who can bring you business, again, astronomical. If it is somebody who can work for you and they're interested in you and they want to come and join your company, again, think about that when you think about recruiting fees. A recruiting fee is usually a third of a salary for a year for an individual. But if they find you and come online, you don't have to pay that money out. I find that if you just have 1 million followers and they're not anyway related to what you're selling or what your industry is about or what you're really on about, I find that probably the value is pretty low. But if they are related to who you are and what your brand is about, I'll be pretty high. It's about the engagement and about kind of the ability to build the relationships that would work in your industry naturally. For example, if you're a Toronto, say, M&E firm, and you want to go to Calgary, well, do you go to Calgary and start chatting up every Calgary blogger talking about restaurant reviews? Or do you go to Calgary and start talking about GCs and about laborers who are in Calgary? That's what you want to do. You want to stay where you're going. Where's your company going? And go in that direction.